Good morning, namaste, or maybe it's evening. I think I said that on the last one. And we're going to do a stretch now for shoulder opening. So the previous video I did was concentrating on the hips. Here we're concentrating on the shoulders, but we will go through a full flow. We'll use blocks a little bit to open up the shoulders. If you haven't got blocks, remember you've got books, stacks of books, toilet paper, stools, cushions, cans of stewed tomatoes, whatever you can come up with. So with that, let's get started. So take a seat, rock a little bit, side to side, so you're really on your hip bones. And then take your arms just up to the sky, turning your hands out and the arms a little bit wide. So you just begin to feel your shoulders and let the ribs soften down so you're not looking up, you're just looking straight ahead. And then let the hands come down and rest on your legs, the elbows under the shoulders, letting your eyes close or look at the floor in front of you and coming inside to your breath. Just not manipulating the breath, but just breathing to let your mind come into your practice, to create a practice space in whatever room you're in, to bring your ambience of your practice around you through your breath. Just letting the breath come in and out. Looking for a little bit of lift as you inhale and a little bit of stabilization as you exhale. So you can feel the ribs, the back opening up, the head, the neck lining up. You could take your head a little bit in a circle, wiggle it around a little bit so that you really feel your neck is open and the shoulders are open, top of the head to the ceiling. And then when you come to your exhale, release the legs down toward the floor. And that may make you bend a little in the middle. So as you inhale, lift up nice and tall. Exhaling, releasing the legs. Inhaling, lifting nice and tall. Thinking particularly about the side of your body. So you want to support the side of your body nice and strong when you're doing back opening. So feel a little bit that as you breathe in, you feel a little engagement in the abs, a little strength right in the side of your waist. And as you breathe out, sustain that. And see if you can release the legs without losing that openness in the waist and the ribs. Take 3 more breaths. Breathing in, taking a little pause at the end of the inhale. Exhaling out, little pause at the end of the exhale. Twice more. Breathing in, pause, releasing out, pause, breathing in, pause, releasing out, pause. And then let your breath come back to closer to a normal pattern of in and out. And bring your hands to your heart, tipping your head. So you open your eyes to your fingertips and let them get used to the light in the room. Releasing your hands down. Now take the right hand to the floor. Just take the left arm up and looking up at the left arm, turn your palm out toward the back of the room and then from the shoulder toward your head. So you're circling not from the wrist, from the shoulder. Make a little bit of a circle there. And sweep the circle back, and sweep the circle forward, and sweep the circle back, and then turn your palm, bring it right alongside your ear, and try to reach beyond your head a little bit, push away with the right arm and open the left side. And then inhale, lifting up, take the left hand to the floor, lift the right arm and open it up. And then just start moving at the shoulder. Turn it a little bit to the back of the room, a little bit back to the front, a little bit to the back of the room, a little bit back to the front. And now make little circles. Sweep it a little bit as it goes back, and sweep it a little as it comes forward, moving from the shoulder. Sweeping it back, and sweeping it forward. One more time, sweeping it back, and then turning so you're just parallel to your head, bringing that arm down, push away a little with the left arm, straighten the left arm a little, and open the right side. Take one more big breath and then keep your right hand up there and bring your left hand up and just face to the front. And now make double circles, make big circles. Sweep your hands around to the back and then sweep them up toward the front and look up. Exhale, look down and sweep your arms back. And then inhale up. And one more time, exhale back, looking down. And then inhaling up to the top, looking up. And then releasing your hands down to your side. Just lean back and change the cross of your legs. So you begin to open the hips also with this. And now taking the left arm, you're going to bring it up forward, put the right hand on the left knee, bring the left arm behind you, and try just like you're holding a tray, just to move it back behind you. Might just go mostly to the side, but just feel like it's going back. And then push down on the left knee and come up and over with the left arm. And then inhale that left arm up and push the right knee with the left hand and bend forward, opening the lower back, just bending as far as you need to open the sacral area. Press the tailbone to the floor. Then keeping the arms the way they are, slide out the right hand and take the right arm and open it out to the side. Try to circle it a little bit to the back. Press down on the left with the left hand on the right knee and tip over the left knee, reaching around, and then bringing the right hand to the left knee and bend your elbows and lean forward and open the back. And then inhaling back up to the front. Just take both legs and take them out in front of you, stretching them out, and then just wiggle your ankles, wiggle your legs a little, open that up. Then taking a Dandasana, just going to place your hands right by your side. Feel as if you could lift your hips off the floor. They won't leave the floor, but feel that much energy in the arms. And then let your hips rest on the floor, take your arms up, and now do that same sweeping back motion. So you're not throwing your chest forward, you're just sweeping the arms back and leaning back a little, and you could push your toes forward a little, press your legs into the floor, working the abdominals a little, and then inhaling back up, flex your toes, and just bring your hands lightly beside your legs, letting your back lift in the belly and round over. And then coming back up, let's warm the legs up a little bit. So come onto your elbows, bend your knees in, lift the back away from the floor rather than sinking into it like you're watching TV or something. Take a little bit of a lift and cross the left leg over the right knee, and then move the right foot so it's almost to the edge of your mat, and then let your left leg come over toward the right. It might not get all the way to the floor. You might just hover. Try not to let the knee fold in. Let the knee be up, and then turn away and look over your left shoulder. And hold that. Feel a little bit of pushing of the left knee away, a little energy away from the body. And then on your next inhale, bring that up and switch feet. So you're going to put the left foot on the floor, cross the right over the left, move the left foot so it's not in the middle, it's out to the edge a little bit, and then rock your leg over, looking over the right shoulder, bringing that leg, trying not to let the knee fall into the left shoulder. Feel the knee moving out toward the front of the mat, looking over the right shoulder. Another 2 breaths. 1, 2, and then come up to the top and bring your legs down and just cross your ankles and roll up onto your hands and knees. And now you'll probably want to be facing the long way on your mat. I'm going to face forward so that you can see what I'm doing. So get your hands right under your shoulders, separate your knees right under your hips. You could curl your toes under if you want, and then just arc the upper back and tuck the tail up and feel the belly lifting and resisting. So you're opening up your back, then soften the breath a little bit, take the head a little bit higher, and then tuck the tail under and let the back round and let your head drop just so the top of your head is toward your thumbs. You're not over pulling on your chin. And then tuck the tail up, lift the belly, open the ribs, take it up to the sky, and then exhale again, tucking under, coming into that cat back, releasing the neck, And then coming to the center. And now you could flatten your feet if that feels okay. If your knees are tender, you might want to curl the feet under. You're going to walk both hands over to the left side, and you're going to try to keep your hips to the front. So try not to let your hips slip over to the left. And you can even push them a little bit to the right, and then look down at your left hand and push the hips a little more to the right, a little more to the right, a little more to the right, and then come back to the center and walk your hands back to the center. Take an arch back, lifting up, and then exhale, tucking under, cat back, and then coming back to neutral, walking over to the other side, getting your hands so that their fingers are facing to the side, or a little bit on the diagonal if the side is too much. And then lift the belly to the spine and begin to push the hips a little bit to the left, just so you feel that resistance. Lifting the ribs up so you're parallel to the floor, you're not arching your back. One more breath, and then walk yourself back to the center and press back, all the way back into a child's pose, pushing your hips to your heels. And then once you're in the child's pose, look forward and take the edge of your mat with your hands. Push the mat away, tuck the tail, lift the belly, and let the head just hover over the ground. So you're pushing your mat away, lifting the triceps, not sinking the elbows down to the mat, and stretching that nice and open. One more breath, and then come back up to the top. Take your hands under your shoulders, curl your toes under, and lift your knees up and slowly stretch back into a little bit of a narrowed down dog. So you're a little bit narrow. Let your head release. If you were in Pilates, they call this an elephant pose, because the back is soft, not stretched out the way it is in down dog. Then bend your knees, come back down to the floor, flatten your feet, and walk your hands out to the front of your mat. And then come up onto your fingertips, and then you're going to move your hips back. They may go way back, they may go only a little bit back. So your head is now higher away from the floor. Try not to scrunch your feet. So choose to curl the toes under or choose to flatten the feet. And then lift the tricep. Feel like your elbow bends away a little bit, dips under, and then straightens out. Top of the head. You're not trying to dip your head all the way to the floor. You're trying to open up between the shoulder blades. Lift the ribs with the muscles of the abdominal muscles. Stretch the hips back. Hover up there. One more breath. Push down with your hands. And then lift up. Bring your hands back under your shoulders. And just round the back and arch it once or twice. And then taking your left leg, reach it back behind you. Flexing the foot. Lifting up. Pressing down on the hands. And then pointing the left foot, bring it into your chest, thigh as close to your ribs as you can get it, tipping your head. And then stretch that leg back. And then inhale, bringing it in. And then exhale, press it back. And now, let your back arch a little, bend your left knee, and you can point the foot or flex it, and you're going to try to lift the left leg up and lift your head up. And try not to let your belly release. Still keep the abs toned, and you're trying to bring your foot to your head, which isn't going to happen, but you're thinking about it. So lift that leg up, and then release it round the back, bring the knee toward the nose, and place it back on the floor. Taking the right leg out, start with it just parallel, lifting the belly and the ribs up, so your back is not arched at all here. And then you're going to bend the knee and just bring it in and around the back. And then exhale, take the leg back to parallel. And then inhale, bend the knee and lift the thigh to the chest. Exhale, take it out to parallel. One more time. Inhale, round it in. And then exhale, take it back. And then bend at the knee, lift the thigh. Try not to let the knee dip down to the floor. And then lift your chest, and now let your back arch. As if you could kick or point your toe to the top of your head. Lift that thigh, lift, lift, lift. And then round the back, bring that knee in. and place it back on the floor. Walk your knees back a little bit so you've got the toes are basically toward the back of your mat. And now one more time, you're going to take your hands forward and bring the palms to the floor this time, and then drop your head down. And if your head won't reach all the way to the floor, you're going to take a block and put the block at whatever height you need for your hands to be forward in this puppy dog and your head resting on the block. So it might be on the edge of the block, it might be way high up, it might be with the block a little flat. You could also use just a blanket for this or a book. And then lift a little in the ribs. So you're not just sticking your tail up, you're tucking the ribs up. So you feel a stretch in the upper back. If this starts to feel pretty okay, you can lift your head a little bit and come onto the fingertips. And do the same thing with your head resting on the block or the floor on your fingertips. Keep lifting the ribs so you're getting a big stretch around the shoulders and in the back. Take another big breath or two in and out. Just in and out. See if you can relax into it. You're working your arms, but you're relaxing the forehead. You're lifting the belly. You're relaxing the feet. Try not to let the feet curl under there. One more breath. Then press down on your hands and walk them in under your shoulders, taking the block out of your way. And now you're going to take the right arm up to the sky and scoop it up. And then exhale and scoop the right arm under. And again, you could put a block under the side of your head. You want to bring your shoulder and your arm to the floor. And then slide your left arm to the front corner of your mat, the left corner of your mat. And then lift the ribs so the back is lengthening, not caving in. And then slowly begin to turn your head a little bit. So you're just rolling, so you're deeply into the side of your head. You're not mashing your cheek, and you're not trying to look all the way up at the ceiling. Then curl the toes under on the left foot and keep the foot on the ground. And then you have to press the right leg a little into the floor and lift the left leg up just parallel to the floor or wherever it will go. Press down on the left hand, press down on the right arm, and then bring that leg down, bring that knee down, bring the left hand in, and press yourself up and round your back. And then we'll take it the other way. So you're going to take the left arm up, reach for the sky, and then scoop it under, bringing the side of your head to the floor, to your block, your shoulder, and then lift a little in the belly so the back is nice and long. Stretch the right arm to the front of the mat. Press down on the right arm. Feel you're going really solidly on the side of your head, maybe a little toward the back of your head, and curl the right toes under and press them into the floor. And then lift in the belly and let that leg just come parallel to the floor, or keep just pressing the toe into the floor. So just lifting the leg to parallel, not above it, where you feel the weight of it. Relaxing the left foot, breathing in and out, one more breath. And then first bring your leg down, slide your right hand next to your left hand, and then slide the left hand out and round the back. And walk the hands a little bit forward. So now you're going to come into a full down dog. Curl the toes under, lift the hips up, and press back into the downward facing dog. Bend the left knee and straighten the right leg deep. Bend the right leg and straighten the left leg deep. And then press up on your tippy toes. And now look forward at your hands a little bit as you press back. So you get that same feeling you had in the puppy dog, but now you're in the up downward facing dog. And you're going to stay here for 3 breaths. 1, 2, 3. And then slowly walk your feet up toward the front of your mat, coming up onto your fingertips, and then come up parallel to the floor, maybe bringing your hands up your legs. And then bring your fingertips to the floor, bend your knees a little bit, exhale over in the forward fold. And then inhale up, and as you come up, you're going to reach your hands behind your back, interlace your fingers, come parallel, and then bend the knees a little and lift the arms up, 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 and then let them pull you up to the top. And then anchor your hips and then tip back. So lift the belly, lengthen the back, fold from the middle of the back, not from the lower back. Reach down to your heels, open and close your mouth, and then inhale up. Bend the knees, come over, letting your hands come up to the sky, top of the head to the floor, knees a little bent, and then release your hands down and bring them up again, changing the cross of your fingers. So whatever feels the most awkward is probably the way you have it done. And then press down on your feet, lift up, keep the back nice and straight. So try not to stick the tailbone out, nice and straight. And then look up at the sky, move your hands towards your heels, open and close your mouth, open the shoulder blades, one more breath, and then inhale to the top. Oh. Take your hands and just sway a little bit to the side. And then coming to a Dandasana, just going to open the hands to the side so the shoulders are nice and open, so you're not folded at all forward. Lengthening the back, tuck the tail, lift the belly, tuck the chin. And then in this position, see if you can close your eyes and just breathe 3 or 4 breaths. And now open your eyes and bring your hands to your heart center. Take a breath in, release the arms down, and then sweep the arms up, straight up, and then exhale back behind you like a swan dive. Anchor your hips and inhale up, and exhale over in the forward fold, bending the knees a little bit, inhaling up to the straight back, getting the back of the legs to stretch open, and then exhale, bend the knees, and you're going to step the right foot back behind you, coming up high on the toe, taking your left hand, if you want, to your block, and then opening the right arm up to the right, feeling that stretching in the shoulder. So circle the right arm, make a big circle with it, like we did in the beginning, and then circle it the other way, making these little, you're massaging your shoulders open. And then bring it straight up, and look up at the sky, and then bring it down to the floor beside your foot, or you could put the block now under the right arm and open the left arm up. And then same thing, make some circles with that arm, just loosening the shoulders and circling it the other way. Bringing it back down to the floor, and then taking the block away. Bring your hands to the floor. You're going to step into the plank or knees on the floor holding the plank. So you want the back not caving in again, nice and strong. Then take your weight a little bit forward and you're going to exhale down to the floor and then inhale up and just gentle Cobra. So feel your thighs heavy to the floor. Keep the elbows bent. Wiggle the legs out so they're as wide as your mat. So you feel very relaxed in the lower back. And then scoop back down, sweeping back down to the floor. And then pull the elbows back and inhale up into the Cobra. And then exhale, roll down to the floor. Last time, inhale up in the Cobra. Bring your feet back close together. Come onto your hands and knees to do that. Curl your toes. And press back to the downward facing dog. Take the right leg, lift it up, keeping it parallel, and just push that heel out. And now bring the right knee in, and then you're going to slowly move the right foot forward, and then you're going to step it back, and then you're going to bring it a little farther forward and your shoulders forward, and then step it back, and now you take it all the way forward or as close as you can get to that. And now you have left toe underneath. You're going to take the block under your right hand and open the left arm up. It's a little harder to balance here. And then stir the air with the left arm. Reverse it and take it in the other direction. Just work at the limits of your shoulder. And then bring the left hand down. You can switch the block back to the left side. Open the right arm up. Stir the air. Stir it the other direction. And then open, big stretch to the sky. And bring that hand down. And now lift your way forward, but bend your left foot to your hip. And just keep your right leg bent and just hold it there. Press down on the floor, lift up in the belly, and then place your foot down. And let the legs straighten a little bit, arms come forward, sway a little bit side to side. And then inhale up to the top, arms by your ears, exhaling back. Inhale to the center, exhale, hands to the heart. Take a breath in, release the arms out. Inhale up to the sky, exhale, back bend, lifting the upper back. Inhaling up, exhaling over in the forward fold. Inhaling up, Ardha Uttanasana, flattening the back. Exhaling, folding over. Inhaling, stepping the left foot back. And now take both hands either on your block or to the floor inside your right leg. And just press back into that left leg. And then take your right hand and put it on a block probably inside your right foot. And then you're going to open the left arm and you're going to reach up for the sky. And now pull the right hip back into place. So you're not rocking your right hip off the side of the mat. And then turn your left hand toward the front and see if you can bring your left hand right over your ear, even if it has to stay up pretty high. If you're having trouble with your arm in this position on the right, you could bring your forearm to your leg and then just reach over that way. Or you can put the block at the highest setting, and that'll make it a little bit easier there too. So wherever your setting is, work with it, maybe gradually go a little bit deeper. Then see if you can get some weight into that back foot, and then again take the hand up to the sky and bring it down to the floor. Take your block out of your way, come up on your toe, drop your left knee and open the back up. And now rock forward of that back knee and then walk your hands just to your front leg. And now you're going to try to let your hips come forward, and then you can lift them a little bit back and then take them forward and then lift them a little bit back. And now take them forward and take your left arm up, soften the shoulder. Take the right arm up, soften the shoulder. Lift from the middle of the back up and lean back behind you, pulling the feet isometrically toward one another. Big breath in and then up and back down to the bottom. Bringing the front leg next to the back leg. You're going to just rock, flatten your feet, press your hips back. Take a long breath in, and then slide your hands forward, curl the toes under, come into the plank or knees on the floor plank. Holding that for 3 breaths. 1, 2, 3, and then lowering your knees, your belly, your chin, and your chest. And now take your hands forward so they're out wide like they were in the beginning, so they're not right up above your shoulders, they're a little bit wider. And then walk your feet out so they're also a little bit wider. And then just lift your head up, lift your belly muscles, lift your arms, and lift your legs. So you're resting on your hips and your ribs. You're breathing in and out. 3, 2, 1, and release that down. Bring the legs a little closer together. Bring the arms a little closer together. If you find that's too much, keep them wide apart. And now lift your head, engage your abs, lift your arms, lift the legs a little bit off the floor, lift the thigh, just feel the thigh trying to leave the floor. That's it, reach long, 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 like you could touch the opposite ends of the room. Don't stop breathing. 3, 2, 1, and release down. Bring your hands under your shoulders. And come up into Cobra. So in the Cobra, your thighs are on the floor. You're nice and gentle in that back. Then curl the toes under, push the hips back, and unfurl into your downward facing dog. Feel in the down dog that you're letting your arms be nice and strong and straight.
So don't take the chest forward to the elbows. Take the chest back toward the thighs. Then lift the left leg up. Bend the left knee and just bring it in toward the chest. And then stretch it out. And now bring the left knee in and let your hips come a little farther forward. And then press back to the down dog. And now full blown. Sweep that leg forward as far as you can. Keeping the back foot, put that back foot on the floor. And now take your blocks. You're either going to have your forearm on your left leg, or you're going to have a high block or a low block. The left hand is inside the left leg. You can feel them pushing together. You can take your right hand and you can press down on the right hip and turn the chest to the side, and then take the right arm up to the sky. Maybe wiggle your back foot back a little farther so you can bend the front foot a little more. Then turn your palm to the front and bring that arm over your ear, not over your nose, but over your ear. And then push the heel of the left leg and pull that left hip into alignment. Press down on the back leg. See if you can lift a little on the side of your body. Stretch the top arm nice and straight. Try not to bend the wrist down towards your head. And maybe almost feel like you're turning your chest to the sky. One more breath wherever you are. And then circle that arm down to the floor. Come up on the back toe. Move the block out of the way. Drop the back knee down. Wiggle it back a little bit. And walk your hands up onto your front knee. And now keep the belly engaged. So this is not a belly hanging out exercise. You're using your abs to protect your lower back. So let the hips come forward and then slip them back a little bit. And then let the hips come forward and then slip them back a little bit. And let the hips come forward and stay there. And now lift the ribs into the spine. Lift the right arm up. Reach it up, lift the left arm up, and then lean back behind you, letting your arms open up a little bit so you can really open your upper back. One more breath, and then lift from the ribs and bring those hands down. Lift the back knee up, and now step the back foot forward, but don't touch the floor. Lift it up like a flamingo, stretching it open, and then bringing that foot down. Bend the knees a little bit and really bring your chest to your thighs, and then inhale up in a chair pose. So staying here in your chair pose, feel in your chair pose, let your arms come down for a moment and straighten your legs and then bend them in again, keeping your hips heading back behind your heels. Then let your arms come up and feel that you're lifting your upper back so you're not overarching the lower. And then stretch the arms long. Press the knees down in toward each other and down into the floor to those feet. And then inhale up. Exhale, a little bit of a back bend. Inhale up. Exhale, hands to the heart. Take a breath. And now we're going to go into a triangle. We're going to emphasize the arm. So be sure you have a block by your side so you can get on the block when you need it. If you know that you like it a little higher, put a little higher. I'll put a little higher just for good measure. So taking your hands first to your hips, roll the shoulders around, and then shoulders open, hands to the heart. Lengthen the body, breath in, release the hands down. Make a big circle as you lift them up, and you exhale back, and then lift them up, and reach them straight forward, sweeping the front of the room, and bringing your hands down onto your blocks. And then come up on your blocks, take both blocks forward. You could work this with hands to the floor, but that would be quite hard. So blocks, toilet paper rolls, whatever you've got there, open it forward, and then bend the knees and fold it over. And then inhale, open it forward, and then bend the knees a little, bring it back. And now you're going to take your block and put it in one block and put it in the middle, and put your left hand on the block. You can have it way up high, it doesn't have to be down low. And then you're going to open the right arm up and bring it back down. And then keep the back nice and long. Open the left arm up and bring it down. And then take your block, place it back where it was, bring your hands by your feet, and you're going to step the right foot back behind you. Take your hand to your left block. Use your right hand on the floor or on your block to steady yourself. You're going to straighten the left leg and slide the block out so it's under your shoulder, not up by your toe. And then maybe you could step the block a little bit out to the side, and then take your right hand and just place it on your right hip. And then pull the left hip under and back and twist your chest to the side. And now take the right arm and bring it down to the floor, up by your head. Open it up and then sweep it to the back all the way to the top. And then take it all the way to your hip. Look down at your front foot, bring the back arm forward. Open the chest, turn your head to the side, up to the ceiling, open the arm up. And then press down on your feet. One more breath. And now look down at the floor, keeping the front leg as straight as you can. Come up to the top and reach over the back. And then inhale, back arm forward. Bend your knee nice and deep. Take back arm out to the side and open into Warrior Two, looking over your front arm. Turn the left hand to the ceiling, and then as you come back, head for your ear, not your nose, and reverse that warrior. And then inhale it up, circle your hands around, coming up on your back toe. You're going to step back into the plank, or plank with the knees on the floor. Holding it 3, 2, 1. Exhale all the way down to the floor. Walk your legs back so you have a nice open back. And now you can either do the Cobra or you can move your hands back, probably a palm print. So your thumbs are parallel to your chest, to the center of your chest, to your breastbone. If you're coming up in the up dog, you're going to pull up slowly and then stretch your legs. You're going to feel your thighs coming up. And maybe you can press on the tops of the feet and lift your knees. If that hurts your lower back, keep the knees on the floor. If that's hard, open the legs a little wider. Everyone curl their toes under for a minute, move your knees a little farther forward. And then flatten the feet. So now you're really over your shoulders. Your shoulders are over your fingers almost. Lift the legs up, lift the head up and back. Open the chest. One more breath. And then drop the knees, curl the toes, push the hips back toward the heels, and unfurl into the downward facing dog. Soften your breath in the down dog. Lift the right leg, open it up, and now bend that knee in and bring it halfway forward, and then stretch that leg back, and now bring it all the way forward. Placing left foot on the floor. Establish your right hand on your block. Maybe your block is a little bit higher. Move it back where the shoulder is, not up by the little toe. Begin to straighten the right leg. Slide that block where you need it. Bring your left hand to your hip. Bring your right hip underneath, not out to the edge. Turn to the side. And then you're going to take your left arm and you're going to bring it toward the front, and then up to the ceiling. And then press down on both legs. And now bring the left arm back by your hip. Bring it down toward the floor, up toward the front, and all the way to the ceiling. Take that one more time. Bring it around to the back, down to the floor. You can let your eyes follow it, up to the front, and open that nice wide arc there. Pressing down on both feet, relax the right shoulder, look down at the floor and push on your feet. Try to keep your legs straight as you bring your arms up. And then you're going to bend the front knee, come into Warrior One, and then open the arms into Warrior Two. Maybe your feet can separate a little more so you can bend the front knee a little bit more. And then you're going to pull the left shoulder back, look over the right shoulder, turn the right palm to the ceiling, bring it up by your ear, reach down the back leg, keep the lower back open, turn the chest a little to the sky, straighten that top arm, One more breath. And then inhale up. Circle your arms down. Come up on the back foot. Step the back foot forward in that forward fold. And now take your block, your toilet paper, whatever you've got here, put it between your knees. Take your hands to just above your knees. Lower your hips. Lift the belly to the spine so it's nice and long. Lift the chest up. Lift the arms up. Utkatasana. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then inhale up, keeping the block there. Exhale behind you. Inhale up. Exhale, hands to the heart. Close your eyes and turn the thighs toward each other, holding that block in place. Breathing in and out. And open your eyes and place the block back on the floor. And now bring your feet nice and close together, maybe right next to each other. Take an inhale up, stretch, and then turn your palms out and reach them back, and exhale there. Then inhale up and open the arms side to side, so you're looking at your right hand. And then inhale up and take them side to side, looking back at your left hand. And then inhale up, and now take your right hand back behind you, keep your left hand up, and reach your right hand all the way around your left leg if you can. And look down at the back of your right heel, kind of in that direction. And then inhale the right arm back up. And exhale, turn to the left. Take that left hand to the back of your leg, stretching nice and wide. And then bringing the left hand back up. Take another breath in, and then exhale over in the forward fold. Knees are nice and close together. Inhale up to the flat back. Exhale, bend the knees. Bring the hips down and try to come into a squat. The squat may be very hard with the feet this close, so you could come back up and separate the feet and even turn them down, out, and come into the squat, whichever feels better for you. Just opening the back of those legs. Then bring your hands back behind you and sit back on your hips, and we'll do just one little Navasana here. So, take your block and put it between your knees. If you don't have a block, just remember not to fall to the outside edge of your feet. So the block just cues you to keep that toned. Then lean back a little bit. Put your hands lightly on your knees to the back of your legs, because you're going to lift up and balance on this little shelf here. And then spread your toes. And now take the arms up by your ears and try to lift up from the waist all the way to the fingertips, squeezing the block. Option would be to straighten your legs. That's a little bit harder. You might get plenty of shake just with the legs bent. One more breath, and then release that down. Let the bottoms of your feet come together and just fold over in a Baddha Konasana. Just a wide omega, not feet close in. And then come back up and take your legs, straighten them out. Bend the left leg in, separate the tendon, pull the calf back, fold the leg under. If you're having trouble sitting evenly on your legs, you're going to bend the right leg in and put a block underneath your hip here. And then you're just going to stretch out this left thigh by leaning back a little bit. So you can walk your hands back. Some people might be able to bend this right leg in, reset your hips, and come all the way to the elbows. If you're not on the block, that'll be easier. Let the thigh just stretch. So you're just pretend like somebody's just gently standing on your left leg, stretching that thigh. One more breath here. And then bend your right leg in so you can come up safely. If you're not on the block, you might not have to bend that leg in. And then you're going to bring both knees over to the right and straighten your legs out. Bringing the right leg in. If you're on the block, you could just stay up on the block. And then you're going to fold the right leg under.
Settling yourself so you're either both hips are even on the floor or both hips are up in the air. Take your hands behind you. Shift your hips a little bit, bend the elbows. Maybe come down all the way onto your forearms. Maybe stay up there. Maybe you bend the leg in to help you reset your hips. And then just let the weight, feel the weight going down into that right thigh. Just let the weight of your body's gravity just pull that open. 3, 2, 1. And then come back up. Bend the leg in. Fold both legs to the left. Come up. Sit back behind your block. Place the block out of the way. And come onto your hands and knees. And just wiggle your hips side to side a little bit. Then walk your legs back. And come onto your belly. So we're going to come now at the thighs from this direction. But what I want you to think about is more opening your back against the resistance of your legs. So you can have your legs about hip width apart. You're going to put your forehead on your left arm and reach your right hand back for your right ankle. And then try not to pull the foot way toward the middle. Just let the foot be moving toward the outside of your hip. And let the neck relax. Now lift your head up a little, and some of you may be able to bring your hand over your foot by bending your elbow. Otherwise, you're just going to hold your foot. And then you're going to lift your head up and walk your left elbow under your shoulder. And so your right leg may go farther away from you when this happens. Or if you're holding on top, you might have to switch to the outside of the foot. And then just lift your chest up. So whether you're holding outside of the foot or over the foot, doesn't matter. Just feel, let your hips be very heavy. And feel like you're lengthening your belly, you're lengthening your back, and you're lifting your chest up against the resistance of your leg on the floor. One more breath, and then release that all down. Woo. Wiggle your hips a little bit. Place your forehead on your left hand, on your right hand, and reach back for your left leg. If you have trouble reaching that leg, take a belt or a tie, and just use that to pull it in. So you're just pulling that leg in, or you're pulling on your belt or your tie, and you're just letting that left side relax. Let the left shoulder open up. So feel like you're just getting more air on the front of the left shoulder. And maybe you lift your head up a little and you are able to move your hand over your foot. Maybe you continue to hold the outside edge of your foot. And then move that right elbow under, right arm across. Your foot may go farther away from your back. And now lift the belly a little bit and stretch as if you could move your ribs toward your forearm. And then lift your head toward the ceiling and then gently see if you can bend that back leg in a little bit more. Try to let the right leg relax, not curling the toes under. And then release that down. Place your forehead on your hands and just windshield wiper the legs side to side to open up the lower back. And now, bringing your hands under your shoulders, you're just going to push up onto your hands and knees, and then curl the toes and walk yourself back. And then try what we did in the beginning. Come up on the fingertips, let the belly pull to the spine, so everything is toning there. Pull the shoulder blades toward the hips, and let the head just hover over the ground. Not trying to dip your head all the way to the ground. And just feel a little bit more openness there. Pull the tailbone down to the floor by engaging the ab muscles. And then come back up. And now we're going to come onto the hands and knees. So if you have trouble with your hands and knees, with your knees are tender, you're going to double up your mat or put a blanket under your knees. Then you're going to take your objects, whatever they are, something to raise up the floor, and come up onto your hands and knees. And you may find you can just curl your toes under, but let's start, if you have a block, start with it up nice and high. So you're going to set those blocks up by your ankles. Then put your hands on your thighs, lift your belly up, so your back goes down when you lift your belly up. And then try to keep the waist area stable. Put your left hand on your waist to keep it stable. Pushing down with the left hand, come up with the right hand. Remember those circles. Take your tray all the way back behind you and then just place your hand on your block. Maybe you place it to the side, maybe you twist it to the front, maybe you just let it sit to the back. And then I'll just put it to the side. And then you're going to lift the left arm up, and you're going to start to turn and look up at the left hand, and then pull the left shoulder down toward the ground rather than up toward your ear, and see if you can move the left arm parallel to the floor or in that direction. And then press your hips forward and press your legs down and touch gently into your block. One more breath, and then lift from the belly all the way up. Bring that right hand up next to the left hand, and exhale your hands by your side. Now take the right hand to the hip, lift in the belly, lengthen the back. The most important thing you can do here is just lifting in the belly, lengthening in the back. It doesn't matter if you reach your block. Inhale your arm up. You could put a chair here. You don't have to reach all the way down. Just open that up. Get your fingertips to whatever's down there. Maybe your hand goes back, maybe the side, maybe it turns all the way to the front. That's the most difficult. And then you're just going to let that right arm go up and feel that you're pushing down with the right shin as you turn and look up at your right hand, and then pull the right shoulder down into place so it's no longer turned to the left. And then try to rotate your hand a little bit toward the back of the room. Press your thighs forward without clenching your tailbone. Open the chest. Open a little farther. Open a little farther. And then inhale the whole thing up. Lots of ab work. And then let your toes come together. Set your hips back. Just sit on your heels and let yourself relax. So, now you could either try doing it with just your heels. You could bring your block a little bit lower, where whatever suits floats your boat, as they say. So you're going to bring the feet back in to parallel. So bring them back from where they're touching. Curl the toes under. It'll take a little of the pressure off your knees. And now, this time, take your hands and put them right on your thighs and press as if you were pressing into a wall. Then take them on your lower back and release the lower back and increase the stretch of the thigh. So remember that thigh stretch we did. Then you're going to take both arms up to the sky, and you're going to bend your elbows in down by your side. So you're kind of in this silly little position, and that's going to help you bring your shoulder blades together and lift your heart up to the sky. And then you're going to reach down with whichever hand feels better and see if you can find your block. And if you can't, you're going to look for your block or your heel, and the other hand to the block or the heel. So you might just be with the tips of your fingers touching your legs, or your hands might just be dangling a little bit, or you might be able to grab your heels and then look just at the ceiling above you. Don't try to look behind you. Press the thighs into the floor, spread your toes, one more breath, and then lift the arms, lift the belly, lift the head. Bring the hands down to the floor. Separate your knees nice and wide. Bring your hips to your heels with your knees nice and wide. Come down on your elbows, cross your hands, and let your head come down and rest on your hands. And now feel that each time you exhale, your belly helps your lower back stretch out. And you feel the shoulders nice and open. So the opening of the whole back body, nice and wide. Then coming back up, you've still got your legs a little wide. I'll turn and face you. So you've got your knees a little bit wide, and you're just going to sit up here, and you're going to take your right hand, your left hand to your right knee, and your right hand, you can reach it just behind you, or you might be able to reach the outside of your left foot. And you're just going to turn and twist this way, and then try not to throw the ribs forward. Feel like you're lengthening your back down into the floor. And just soften your breath. You don't need to yank on yourself, just turn gently. And then turn your head to the left and tuck your chin a little bit. And let your weight shift inside your belly, shift over to the left foot there. Take another breath. And then inhale back to the front and take it the other way. So you're going to take your left hand to right leg, right hand on the floor behind you, or you might put it and just grab your left foot. Whatever helps you open that shoulder gently, that right shoulder. And then just turn your head looking over to the right, and then feel that your ribs go into your back, so your lower back is nice and long and released. And then the next time you're ready to inhale, turn your head to the right, to the left, right, looking over the left shoulder, tuck the chin a little bit, resist in the right shoulder. Take the weight from inside your belly, move that weight into that left hip, and breathe in and out. And then come back to the front. Woo. Bring your legs, your knees together. And if it's hard to sit on your heels, just put a block behind your hips. So you're sitting in between, either on your heels or on your block. And then place your hands on your knees and close your eyes. And breath in and breath out. And now open your eyes, open your arms out to the side like wings. And then you're going to bring them in and bring the right hand over the left. So I'm not mirroring you. So you're going to do the opposite side. And then you're going to bring either the back of your hands together or palm to palm. And then let your back release. So you don't try lurching forward. Just back release, and then try to lift your elbows up. Up, 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 up. Try to get them even with your chin. Soften your back. Close your eyes. 2 long breaths. 1, 2. And then open your eyes, and maybe you come forward a little bit. Some people may be able to bring their hands all the way down to the floor, but you just want to get your arms forward enough that you feel you're stretching your back. And then pull that back up and release it out, and just jiggle your shoulders. And then open the arms up and take it the opposite way. So now we're taking the left arm over the right, curling them together. Pull the shoulders onto the back, release the ribs down into the back, not thrusting them forward, and slowly lift the elbows up. And then close your eyes, relax the tops of your feet, breathing in, breathing out, breathing in, breathing out. And then open your eyes so you can see where you're going, and just tip a little bit forward, a lot forward, all the way down to the floor forward, whatever feels comfortable. So hovering here is fine, just using the weight of your arms to open up your back wherever you are. Take another breath here, and then lift from the belly and lift the weight of your arms, a little bit of ab work there. Lift the elbows up. And then release the arms down and jiggle your shoulders and come on to sitting on your hips with your feet out in front of you. And then take your left foot and put it so it's right out in the middle, and then cross your right foot over your left foot. And then rock a little bit side to side. And then take your right hand, the left hand on the floor to stabilize you. Take the right hand up and reach it out to the outside of your left leg. Maybe you reach your right toe even. And you're just going to, just using that arm to get a little bit of bend and twist. You can bend the elbow gently, or you could just have the arm holding your leg, leaning over. Take another breath. And then inhale back up. Uncross your legs, put the left leg a little more than across the center. So your left leg is a little on the right side. Use your right hand to stabilize. Soften the right shoulder. Left arm up. And then just reach over for the outside of your right leg. Maybe all the way to your left foot. And then just close your eyes. Feel you're pulling back a little on the left side of your body, inside the belly there. And just feel the lower back opening up, undoing some of that last camel stretch that we did. Another breath. And then inhale back up. And now take your legs and cross at the ankles. And if you have a block, you can sit up on the block. If your legs feel pretty open, you can have heel to heel. Wherever you are on that, rock a little bit side to side. And now just gently come forward like we did at the beginning of class. So you might have your legs crossed, you might have them heel to heel, you might be on the block a little bit, and then open your arms a little bit wide and come up on the fingertips and push the floor away from you. So you do, again, open that lower back. Then come back up and uncross your legs, bring the feet a little bit wide, sit up nice and tall, round your back, and then come up and bring the other leg, left leg probably is the one in front now, crossing at the ankles or maybe trying to have heel to heel. And then just lean forward, walk your hands out, and then lift the heel of the hand off the floor. So you get a little bit of loft in your arms, push the floor away, tailbone to the floor, head just looking down between your thumbs, breathing in and out. Another breath or two here. And then walk that up, unbend your legs. You're going to be sitting sideways. Take everything out of the way. If you have a blanket you want to put over you for Shavasana, we're going to go back. So you're going to lie back, really lengthen your back. So rock a little around on your hips as you go down. And then roll your back onto the floor. Wiggle those shoulders open. Take your arms up overhead so you feel your shoulders nice and open. And then separate your feet as wide as your mat and let your knees come together. And just breathe, let the back sink to the floor. And take your Shavasana this way. Remembering to elbow, you could sigh, you could take a few sighs, just letting the shoulders release, rock your head a little bit. And then gently bring your hands down to your side. You could keep the knees this way or you could let the legs stretch out. Once you're in this position, you could stay also as long as you want. We'll stay here for another minute or two. Staying in your Shavasana, or if you're ready to come out, just bending your knees in, rocking them a little side to side, rocking your head a little side to side. And then you can hug your knees into your chest, and you can either roll to the right, or you could rock your legs a little bit and roll up. I'm going to roll to the right. Stand on your right side for a little bit. Let your body get accustomed to peeling off the ground. And then pressing yourself up, coming into a seat. Bringing your hands to your heart center. And taking a moment to close your practice, to carry the comfort of your practice into the rest of your day, and to let your isolation be a soft and gentle experience that you're sharing with other people through this video. Namaste.